Okay, so this is video number 24 in the Red Flags of a Narcissist series. Video 24 is red flag number 24, which is never apologizes. So you've probably encountered this one as well. Narcissists, well, they don't like to apologize for a number of reasons. Probably the biggest one is they really don't feel like they need to justify or explain any of their behavior because they have this blinding degree of entitlement, and they also have like a jaw-dropping level of selfishness, right? So of course it's all about them, and why do they need to explain anything to the rest of us? So that's a big part of it. Another part of it is if they obviously acknowledge that they did wrong, then they're caught. So you can't really continue to manipulate if you actually admit, if you would admit to things, right? Like if you say, yeah, okay, I actually did cheat. This is kind of part of it. So this is why, and there's many reasons they do this as well, because, you know, it saves their public image. Because if they come right out and say, yes, I cheated on you with that woman, that's almost, it's dangerous information, right? It's outside of their control. Once they release all and acknowledge that information, who knows what's going to happen to it, right? And so they don't like that. They need that power and control. They need to protect their public image. It's how they continue to manipulate people, right? So you will never get the truth from a narcissist. You will never know the full truth. Even if you get an apology, again, it'll be like pulling teeth the whole way. They will only ever admit to the very bare minimum. It's only as soon as you find out a piece of information, then they'll admit to it. And then you find out another piece, then they admit to it. And another piece, they admit to it. They will never be forthcoming about something. If they are forthcoming about something, I would say even question that, because with everything with them is that's a half truth, right? And they're never at a loss for words. So they are just so good at like tap dancing around the truth all the time. And for them, everything is, it's like a kernel of truth surrounded by like a big ball of a lie, right? Kind of like those candies, like actually kind of like a peanut M&M. This is like how they wrap the truth. It's really, really wild. And so if you do get some sort of apology from them, and I knew one narcissist, it was the weirdest thing. Like he really would not say he was sorry. And I would just say, like, I just want to hear you say that you're sorry. Like, you need to own this behavior. And no. And this always would go back to either some sort of, of course, that victim hero speak, which I think I talked about before. So either they're the victim of circumstance, the other woman, she threw herself at him, or he was drunk, or you had gained weight, or you weren't around, or blah, 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 right? It's always somebody else's fault. Or if you do get an apology, it probably sounds as sincere as it really is. And you know that, and he knows that, and everybody knows that. Or they will do something like, instead of it being like a them problem, like they maybe cheated on you, which is it's their issue, but it's, I guess in a way, it's kind of like your problem, right? Because now you're the one faced with the decision of what to do. But if they cheated on you, instead of saying like, I'm really sorry for cheating on you, probably what you're going to hear is something more along the lines of, like if you were to say, I'm really upset that you cheated on me, they might say, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. Right. So how, like, that's frustrating, right? Like that, okay. So this is kind of like as a side note, right? So if you ever watch those TV shows where it's like Snapped, like these women just go nuts and then they kill their husband, I had always thought that's so crazy. Like, how does that happen? How does like a person just snap? And then I dated somebody who was never accountable for their behavior and then not apologizing. And I thought, oh, totally get it. Like, I totally get how somebody could snap. And at the time, when you're so angry because somebody's not owning their behavior, it's almost like murder just seems like a very reasonable option. Like at the time, because you're so angry and it's so crazy having an adult just sit there and deny their behavior. So I'm not saying I would commit murder, not saying I haven't thought about committing murder, but not saying I'm going to commit murder. I shouldn't even say that, because like, knowing my luck, something's gonna happen to one of my two narcissists, and then this video will be on, you know, like IDTV or whatever, and yeah. But no, I'm not, they're not worth me going to jail over. So I'm not planning on doing anything to them, just for the record, okay? But they won't ever fully apologize. Another like kind of weird way that they like tap dance around an apology is to make this problem like a we problem. So they might cheat on you, right? And then they might say, well, you know, we have these communication problems in our marriage, and see, there's all these issues I have with you. I just wasn't comfortable telling you about them. So like, you've gained weight and you spend all this time with the kids, and you know, you never really get out of a sweatsuit, and it's just, that's why I cheated on you with these other 14 women. So we have a problem, and you know, we should really go to therapy. And then of course, what a great way to do that, right? So now all of a sudden, and this is how victims start walking on eggshells. So they internalize that and they think, okay, I need to change all these things about me. So they start, you know, reading books on how to save a marriage. They start listening to CDs. They start going to marriage retreats. They start seeing a counselor. They start doing all of these things, hoping that if they change, then the cheating would stop. But of course, if you're familiar with narcissism, that never, ever works, because they're not cheating. They don't have sex. They don't do things for the reasons that a regular person would. So like, a regular person, if they were unhappy in their marriage, I know ideally they're going to talk to their partner. If like a dysfunctional regular person were in a marriage, they might even go out and cheat, but it might really be to get that affection or just that sexual release. For a narcissist, everything they do is about power and control. So they're not cheating for sex. They don't do anything. Everything that they do is about feeding their ego. Everything they do is about power and control. So every time that opportunity presents itself for them to cheat or lie or steal or you know, do whatever they want, that's why they follow these whims of theirs, and that's why their behavior seems so erratic to the rest of us, right? Like, you could think, is, you know, back to the whole cheating thing, like, why, you know, we were so happy, and remember like yesterday, and you know, we just did all this amazing stuff, and you told me how I was like the love of your life, and we were having this fantastic time, and there's been, you know, no signs of any problems in the marriage, and then like, boom, they're like, I'm done, I want out. That's like that sudden discard, right? Which is a huge red flag of a narcissist, is that immediate discard. That's part of the cycle. I'll do another video on that, hopefully tonight, the cycle of a narcissistic relationship. It's idealize, devalue, discard. And it goes round and round and round until you decide to hop off that crazy train, or until they've replaced you and driven on. But warning, they will eventually, most likely, come back. It's called hoovering. I did another video on it. Highly recommend you watch it. So they never apologize. Yes, so victims tend to get stuck in that cycle of thinking that they need things to change, which I could kind of see where they're coming from, because that discard is so abrupt and it's so sudden, and it really does feel like there must be a huge issue here that I just really misread or didn't see, because that's the only thing that really makes sense, right? But the reality is, no, they cheated because the opportunity presented itself, and they will continue to cheat whenever that opportunity presents itself, because it's not about sex. It's about getting their ego fed. It's about feeling like, you know, they're sexy and they're wanted and they are God's gift, which they already all think anyhow. Some of them are just better at hiding it than others. So, you know, really there's a lot of truth. Well, with narcissists, you know, once a cheater, always a cheater, because their behavior never ever changes. And I think I've already done a video on that. That I also recommend you watch. I hope you're watching these in order. I am going to put a page up on my website, because one of the viewers, Nick, if you're watching, I was making myself crazy the other day trying to figure out how to get these videos in order for you. So if you watch, you have to watch these videos in the playlist, like in the playlist tab, and it should play them in order. If that's not working for whatever reason, or you can't figure out how to get to the playlist, you can go to my website, narcissistsupport.com. There is a tab on there that's called, I think it's called Start Here. Let me go look real quick. Start Here. Yes, it's called Start Here. And then it's called drop down menu, red flags of a narcissist. So if you go there, there's going to be like an intro page, and then there's going to be a page of just links of all the red flags in order with links to the different articles and then the videos if you want kind of, you know, double the amount of information. It's a little different information in each one. So that's that. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, frustrations, ideas for videos, you want to share part of your story, you just want to say hi, let me know. Again, narcissistsupport.com, or on my Facebook group, which is also called Narcissist Support. You can find my information down in the description area of this video. Okay, stay tuned for red flag number 25, which is triangulation. Ooh, they're so good at this one. So stay tuned. I'll see you soon. Bye.